From Fremont, California, this is the Smokie Podcast, a production of the Smoke Signal, covering everything from student life to what's happening in the world, all in short 20-minute episodes. I'm Jessica Yu, the web co-editor of the Smoke Signal. I want to welcome you to the 5th episode of Season 3 of the Smokie Podcast, where 3 staff writers discuss their views on Teachers Appreciation Month, reminisce on their favorite classes and favorite teachers, as well as detail some of their experiences and what they've learned from their teachers.
Hi, I'm Esther, and I'm a first-year staff writer and the events manager for the Smoke Signal.
Hi, I'm Amelie Wu, and I'm a first-year writer for the Smoke Signal.
Hi, I'm Chloe Yao, and I'm a first-year staff writer at the Smoke Signal, and today we'll be talking about how our teachers and classes have impacted us. So starting off, I think journalism has probably been one of my favorite classes this year and probably in all my years. And I found that I've learned a lot of soft skills and etiquette things that I probably wouldn't learn in other classes. And they really helped me grow as a person, and I think they have been really helpful.
I have to agree because I feel like as part of the Smoke Signal, I've been able to experience a lot more things within our diverse community. I've been able to get in contact with club advisors, presidents of clubs. I've been able to attend a lot of events. And I feel like prior to being a part of the Smoke Signal, I wouldn't have known or participated in these events beforehand. So I really enjoy the opportunities that the Smoke Signal gives us to kind of branch out within our own communities.
Yeah, I definitely agree as well, and these opportunities are something that we really can't find in any other class. And I think something that's also really special about the Smoke Signal is how much growth is emphasized in it. And I think even over the past year, even though this has only been my first year in the Smoke Signal, I've seen how much I've grown, and I'm able to see that through the progression of the stories I've written, and also just through, witnessing myself interact with others in the daily classroom environment. And I think that overall the Smoke Signal is just an incredible place to grow. And somewhere else that's also a really safe growth space for me is Spanish. I think I've always gravitated towards Spanish and the languages since I was a kid, just because of my international background. So I was born in Hong Kong and immigrated to the US when I was 5. So multiculturalism has always been something that's really important to me. So obviously, learning languages and coming into Hopkins when I was in 7th grade, and then choosing to learn Spanish and then doing Spanish 3 and AP Spanish at Mention San Jose High School has also been a really great experience. And I really like that you're able to see growth and progression really easily, and there's always more room to get better, which I really love.
One of my favorite classes that I particularly enjoy at MSJHS and prior to attending this school was English classes. I enjoy how broad and how non-black and white English is as compared to math classes where there's going to be a set correct answer versus English where you get to express your thoughts more freely and your thoughts, opinions, and just your overall critical understanding of certain things gets to be improved upon a lot. I feel like a lot of students at MSJ don't like English because they think that it's hard or that it's unnecessary, but I feel like that's actually very contrary. I think that that's the opposite of what students at MSJ should think, because English really allows us to get that critical understanding that we wouldn't elsewhere versus getting a black and white yes or no correct answer.
Yeah, I think language classes are really helpful to my growth and have been some of the best experiences I've had. And I would say my favorite teacher at Mission probably has been Miss Robles, who was my Spanish 1 teacher, and she was the first teacher I ever met at Mission, even though it was online. And I thought her bubbly personality was a really warm welcome to MSJ, and it really helped me warm up to the school. And also, every morning she would play a new piece of music that really helped me learn about Spanish culture and was really inspirational to me.
Yeah, my favorite teacher is also my Spanish teacher, Maestra Magana. This is my 2nd year having her, and I had her in freshman year for Spanish 3, and now I have her for AP Spanish. And I think that I can speak for all of her students when I say that we really feel that she cares about us as people, and she does a lot of things to try to get to know us beyond who we are on the grade book, and beyond who we are as a student. And we have so many special memories together. This past Friday, we went to SF as a class for our field trip. And even in like COVID years where we're not able to do a lot of activities that other years would have been able to do, she's really tried her best to make the experience really special for us, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, my favorite teacher was Bogan. I actually had him for English 2 years in a row, freshman year and sophomore year. I think being a part of his class was really kind of eye-opening for me. I understand that some people think that he grades a bit harsh, but honestly, I would much prefer that than a teacher who doesn't, because grading harsh is just another way of a teacher showing that they really do care about you getting farther in life. They want to push you farther in order to see you grow to your full potential. I feel like that's really important for some students at Mission San Jose High School.
Yeah, I think English teachers teach really great life lessons. Both of my English teachers at Mission have taught me important things in life. So in freshman year, Mr. Marple would always say, "It won't matter in 100 years before each test." And his repeating of this message really helped us ingrain that message in our minds and kind of understand that even though things like tests and homework assignments may seem like the biggest part of our lives right now, it really doesn't matter much once we become old. And also, Mr. Bogman recently took us to a flowering tree in front of the library, and he kind of explained to us how we should always try to stop and smell the flowers instead of just being focused on completing all our school assignments and things like that. And we should just take some time for ourselves to help us relax and just grow on our own.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate all the teachers who have helped us learn many important life lessons along the way. But going back to Amelie's point on, harsh grading, I definitely agree that, harsh grading might not be the most fun in the moment, but it really does help us in the long term and set us up for success. But it's also important to know that harsh grading and encouragement are not mutually exclusive. And I think the best example I can give from my personal experience was Spanish 3 in Maestra Magaña's class. And I very clearly remember that her tests and essays, the very few that we had, were graded very critically, which I honestly think helped me grow a lot in the language. But I very clearly remember one time when we got a test back, and there was like a short response section on the test, and I had made up a word without knowing. I think I was trying to find like a cognate, and it was just completely and it was, I was trying to find a cognate, and it was very far from what the meaning actually was. And then she just wrote 2 question marks and LOL next to the word. And I think even though this is a really small moment, it really reinforced the idea that, although she does grade hard sometimes, encouragement is super important. And it's really important that we feel her support for us through a lot of little things, that being a really good example.
Yeah, I really enjoy when teachers are able to show that side of themselves that reminds students that they're just another person as well. I think in my freshman year, my science teacher, Miss Esther Brooks, I believe we were watching Lorenzo's Oil, and I was extremely bored. I did not care about the movie. However, all of a sudden, I remember looking up and she started wiggling. I think it was to represent how the oils were building up in Lorenzo's body and Lorenzo's tissues, but I could not stop thinking about it because it just seemed very funny to me at the moment, looking up and seeing your science teacher just wiggling. I don't know why, but that actually made me pay attention a lot more throughout the rest of the movie, because when my mind would start to wander and diverge away from the movie, I'd be like, wait, no, she's gonna come back and wiggle at me.
Yeah, I think teachers have great personalities, and Mr. Bates, who was my pre-calculus teacher this year, has been a really great example. And one memory I have was on the first day at Mission in this year, which was my first year ever at Mission in person. None of us knew who Mr. Bates was because he was a new teacher and none of us had seen him before. So when he was walking over, one of my friends pointed in his direction, and they told us that might be our new teacher. But I didn't wear my contacts the past day, and I thought they were pointing at a younger person walking towards us, so I was thinking how young our teacher might be. But once Mr. Bates actually arrived, I realized I had been looking at a student who was probably just older than us. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, another really fun memory I have with Maestra Magana is, another really fun memory I have with Maestra Magana is receiving feedback on some of the work that we did. So more recently, this past semester, we had a semester final, and I remember being super nervous about it because it was like a 3-minute video and I think a 2 to 3 page essay, if I remember correctly. And I had spent a lot of time on it. For the video, I went to San Francisco with my Spanish group, and overall it was just something that we all had put a lot of time into. So I was really nervous getting the grade back because I was scared that the time I put into it wouldn't reflect in the grade. But I remember being on the staircase next to the amphitheater, and then I got a notification that my Infinite Campus had been updated, and the grade on the project was a full 100, and I saw that there was a comment attached to it which said that the video and the essay were one of the best that she's seen and read in past years, and that just meant a lot, which just goes to show how far encouragement goes. Even though the teachers might not know how much it means to a student, it just means the world that they're trying their best to encourage us. And even now, I think I've learned, the most important thing that I've learned from that class is, I think one of the most important things that I've learned from that class is how much I think the most important thing that I've learned from that class is how important encouragement is. And now when I'm in situations where I'm leading a team, I always make sure to encourage my team members, because you really never know how much it'll mean to them.
Teachers at MSJ have really helped me. One of the biggest thing that teachers at MSJ have taught me is how to actually study and how to improve myself. I think that some of the things that teachers aren't here just to cram curriculum into your head. They're here to help you actually improve yourself. I think that's really important for some students at MSJ. I know I personally, before attending MSJ, I actually had a lot of trouble being able to study and keep myself focused, but I think attending this school and having teachers that would require you to take notes in certain ways or watch videos or do hands-on labs, those different methods really helped me explore what type of methods I should be using when I study for certain subjects and really figure out what works best for me.
Yeah, and circling back to where we started, journalism, I think the biggest takeaway that I've gotten from journalism and also Spanish class is that there's always room to grow. No matter how skilled or unskilled you think you are at a subject, or really at anything at all, there's always room to go up. And I think that that's a lesson that can be applied to all areas of life, not just academics.
Okay, I think that's about all we have for this podcast episode.
For more content or more information, visit our website at www.thesmokesignal.org.
Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed our podcast.
We want to thank Amelie Wu, Chloe Gao, and Esther Lau for joining us on this episode of the Smokie Podcast. Our background music is produced by Lucrembo, and our show is edited by Tanisha Shrivasta and Jessica Yu. See you next time on the Smokie Podcast.